Hey there, welcome back. If you've been following us for a while, you probably know that we are big advocates for building and growing a personal brand, regardless of which industry or job type you're in or that you have. But one of the big challenges we hear from a lot of people is that they just don't have time to build a personal brand. I get it, you're busy, you've got a million things going on in your world, whether you're a business owner, a job seeker, a CEO, a blogger, an influencer, whatever it is that you are, you've got a million things to do. And social media and digital marketing can seem really overwhelming if you don't have a good system in place. So what we've done is went ahead and built out a checklist for you to use for building your personal brand. So make sure to grab this checklist. You can head over to our website if you'd like a text version, so you can copy it into your notes app or your calendar or print it off in blog format. But going through and making sure that you do each of these items every single day, or at least every day that you can, will definitely help make sure that your personal brand is off in the right direction. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and check your notifications and respond to them appropriately. So your notifications across all of your social media platforms, LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, they're all going to contain things like comments that people leave on your photos or posts and page notifications that you need to respond to, things like that. So make sure to check them out, respond to everything if you can. Of course, don't worry about negative or spammy comments responding to those, but if somebody says, hey, this is a great picture, or this was a great article or a great tip that you shared, just respond with a quick thank you. What it does is it helps let the algorithm know that this is important content and that they should continue prioritizing your content and making sure that everybody sees it. It's also a great way to start developing and building relationships, which are important. You're gonna wanna go ahead and do the same thing with your inbox. We won't spend too much time on that because similar thing there. These are just private messages that people will send you. You'll probably get a little bit less of these, at least in the beginning, but if there is an important business opportunity or job opportunity or question that somebody has, you're gonna wanna make sure to respond to it. Third thing you'll wanna do is check out trends. So on Twitter, there's hashtags. On LinkedIn, there's a little trending tab in your homepage, and you're gonna just wanna go through and take a look at the things that are trending. Now, not everything is gonna be applicable to you. There are sometimes things that are going on in the sports industry or in politics or in the news that don't really have a place for me to talk about. But if I see a big trend going on in the business community or the marketing community or the startup community, I'm gonna wanna make sure to add my 2 cents to those trends or just keep it in mind for when I'm developing my content strategy for that day. We'll get into that in a second. Now, fourth thing, once you're looking at those trends, go ahead and click on some of those articles that, again, are in your industry just to brush up and make you more aware of what's going on and what kinds of things people are sharing and what kinds of things people are really drawn to and that are resonating with your audience in your industry. So just click on one article a day. You don't have to necessarily read it all the way through, but doing a good skim through just to get an understanding, like I said, of what's trending and what's going on in your industry is a huge plus. Now, fifth thing, this can be one of the most challenging things for a lot of people. You're going to want to actually create a post. And you're probably wondering, well, what do I post about? Well, there's a ton of different things that you can post about. Like I said, pay attention to the trends and what's going on in your industry. Maybe you share an external article, maybe, a publication like Forbes or Entrepreneur or someone like us shares an article that you want to reshare to your audience, and that's great. That's one type of post that you can create. You can also post an update about your business or about your career. Maybe you're working on a project that's really fun and interesting and that people should learn about. You can post something like that. You can always post a photo. Photos tend to do pretty well in terms of engagement. So maybe it's a photo of your team if you just went out on a team bonding activity, or you at a client site if they consent to it, that kind of thing. You can also share the love. Maybe there's somebody in your industry who you really love what they're doing. They post really good stuff, or they're working on a project themselves that you're really interested in, and sharing their content and tagging them will not only pay it forward and be a good deed, but it will also catch their attention and maybe get them to follow you back. And lastly, of course, you can always post a promotional post. So if you're a business owner with a service that you're offering, tell people about whatever it is that you do and share a link to your booking page or your services page. Now, the thing about this though is you don't want to do this all the time, every single day. You want to make sure that you're cycling through and doing a good mix of those other types of content as well. From there, you're just going to want to engage with people. So engagement really just means a like, a share, a comment, a retweet, and you're gonna wanna do a little bit of each of these things. We've got a little formula worked out for you that tends to work well for us, but modify this in a way that makes sense for you. So first thing, go ahead and like about 5 to 10 posts from people in your industry. So go through your LinkedIn feed, like posts from influencers and thought leaders in your industry. Do the same thing on Twitter and on Facebook. Next, I want you to leave 2 to 3 comments. So this sounds overwhelming because comments can be a little bit challenging, but it doesn't have to be anything too huge. On LinkedIn, for example, maybe somebody you used to work with just changed positions and you get that notification about it. Just write, "Congratulations on the new role." It doesn't have to be anything that you're thinking about way too much. But on the contrary, you also don't want to just leave 3 emojis or yay or something overly simple. You want to make sure that it is truly meaningful. So make sure to, think about it a little bit. Don't spend too much time. These can be a couple of minutes each, but do make sure that it's meaningful. And if you want to go ahead and write something much longer when appropriate, go ahead and do that too. And then last thing for engagement is retweet something. Retweet a post every day. This is a really easy way to populate your own feed and get your own followers interested in what you're posting without a lot of work. So again, go through those feeds on Twitter, see what influencers in your industry are talking about, see what's resonating with you, and just click the retweet button. On LinkedIn, you can also share posts to your feed, so you can share posts that other people have written to your feed super, super easily. And then finally, I want you to send a connection request every day or every day that it makes sense. You don't want to spam with this. You don't want to send a connection request every single day just because you feel like you have to. But go ahead and see who's showing up in the recommended section of LinkedIn for you. See if you know anyone or if there's anyone that you maybe used to work for or work with as a client or whatever it is, and just connect with them. I think this is something that a lot of us forget to do. I know I certainly do. So make sure to check that section every day. But again, you don't want to overdo it and connect with a bunch of people you don't really know, or connect with people just for the sake of connecting. And lastly, I want you to check your Markel notifications. So if you're not familiar with who we are an app that helps you manage your reputation online and get a feel for what other people see when they search for you on the internet. So we'll send you a notification whenever we see new search results about your name or your business name, whatever it is that you choose, pop up on Google. And you'll be able to then mark those results positive or negative and even report them to Google for removal. So if you're wondering, why is this important and what does this have to do with anything? Well, if you're building out this incredible personal brand on Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, you're gonna wanna make sure that your search results reflect the same great personal branding. And if there's old things popping up or untrue search results popping up, that's not going to look good for you. The thing is, when you're reaching out to these thought leaders or influencers or other people in your industry, potential clients, potential managers, all of these people, when they first learn about you and you're brand new to them, they're probably gonna go ahead and search for your name on Google to see who you really are and what you're all about. And again, you wanna make sure that those search results are aligned with your personal brand, so they wanna get to know you even more and they're not steered in the wrong direction. And best part about this is Markel is totally free for one search term, so you can head over to the link in the description box or just type in markel.app into your browser and get started today for free. So we hope this video was helpful. If it was, of course, make sure to leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post videos every single week about personal branding and digital marketing and fun things like that. We'd love it if you stuck around, and we'll see you very soon in a new one.